to Facilitation TV, the program that helps you to tap into our practical experience in facilitation and working with teams, and the one that's geared towards helping you to practically apply the sorts of things we talk about. So let's get stuck into it. I'm here with Andrew Huffer, my colleague. I'm Bevan Besson. Andrew, let me pose a question to you here. You've been asked to facilitate a last-minute problem-solving workshop. We all take a deep breath, we've all been there. What are the 5 key things that you need to know before you start, before you leap in with your cape flying?
Last minute is usually with the client, why didn't you call me earlier? But I don't tend to take that too well. So I'll go to my other top key things I need. The first one is to be really clear with the client about what's the purpose of the workshop. Strategically, what is it they're trying to achieve? And then to talk about and what outcomes do you see the workshop delivering. And I referred back to in a previous episode about some strategic planning I'm doing with a pharma group.
Yep.
The purpose of that, in broad terms, is for the organisation to have a clear direction of where they're heading to in the next 5 years and to make sure everyone's on board with that. That's the broad purpose. And the outcomes it's going to deliver is that everybody understands the direction of the organisation, people are connected with that direction, and that the organisation is set up for success. So there's that difference between that strategic level and how they're going to go about it.
Sure.
Quickly, the other things I'd be asking the client about if I had that phone call would be what's the problem here and who does it affect, and making sure that actually affects some of the people in the room. Otherwise, I don't reckon there's going to be too much buy-in. Who are going to be the ultimate decision makers when we're talking about this? Is it going to be the people at the workshop, or is it going to be some other higher being? And how well is the problem understood? Do the people there, where are we actually taking them from before we try to take them to somewhere else? Are we starting cold, or are they really on top of this?
Sure.
Yeah, the sort of the areas I'll be looking forward to kick off with.
Good. And certainly I think you've nailed those 5, the top 5. They would be the ones particularly that I would ask around those questions. I guess a really pragmatic one that I often ask almost as the very first thing is, when are you thinking of doing this and whereabouts are you doing it? It saves that whole situation for a full 20-minute conversation, only to find out that they actually want it done in 3 days' time when you're already fully booked or something else, hopefully.
Yep, absolutely.
So really pragmatic, when and where, let's get that one out of the place first. Yes, it's a possibility. 5 questions, as you said. I guess the one about the outcomes, agree with you totally, and we need to make it really clear here. We're not asking them what are the outcomes you want the group to come up with, in other words, to agree to X, Y or Z. We're saying, what is it that you really need from this workshop as a general purpose, as you articulated there. We need to have set our direction forward for the next 3 years, whatever that direction is.
Yeah, what is the issue we're trying to resolve here? What are we working towards?
That's right, and we need to, that's where the neutrality comes in there in terms of that. I guess then the only other practical one that I would add to it is, what have you prepared so far?
Yeah.
Otherwise, without knowing it, suddenly it gets dropped in at last minute. We have a detailed minute-by-minute agenda, and you're on for 15 minutes at 3:45.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to be able to do this one. So we're asked to do it. Final practical tip, I guess, from me would be that we have an agenda. You agree on an agenda, that's all fine. It's almost like that's for public consumption, for the people there. I would never go into a workshop like this without a really clear running sheet. And by running sheet, I mean the time, the session, the key question that's going to be asked, the transition to the next section.
Yeah,
sort of thing you use?
Absolutely. And for me, I want something that I can see probably from tabletop distance. So again, this is a real, I guess, detailed tip, is to have it all your running sheets in at least 16-point font, so you can see it from about an arm's length distance. Or if you've got eyes like mine now, you can see it from multiple distances.
Or with your glasses on the end of your nose.
This is right.
Like that, yeah.
It's a very stylish look.
It is.
Very stylish look. So the little things like that help keep you calm, because you can see really clearly where you're going with your running sheet. And you're not sort of having to look at the detail, and that kind of makes you look like a rabbit in the headlights at times too.
Sure. Lots of these details. We've got lots of these in the Shulk here, top tips for facilitating effective meetings. Lots of practical things that we get involved with that we like getting down to the nitty gritty. So until next time, thank you very much, Andrew.
Thanks, Bevan. We'll see you soon.